When I first walked into the UTK Rec Center weight room, I was intimidated. It was packed. The racks were full and people seemed to know exactly where everything was. I know a lot of students feel the same way. Just last week, one of my high school friends texted me asking for a workout plan because they wanted to start lifting but didn't know how. Weightlifting at UTK can feel intimidating for beginners, but by sharing my experience, workout plan, and research, I'll show students how to make it easier and more effective. First, let's talk about the gyms available on campus. The main facility is the T-Rex, the Tennessee Recreation Center for Students. It's open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturdays from 10 to 9, and Sundays from 10 to 11, according to the official T-Rex website. T-Rex is the largest weightlifting space with plenty of machines, free weights, and cardio equipment. Another option is the Hyper Weight Room, which is smaller but a little less crowded. Its hours are more limited, Monday through Thursday from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., but it's a good spot if you're looking for a quieter space to train in the evenings. Lastly, Clement Hall has a gym as well. It has very limited equipment with a dumbbell rack, 2 squat or bench racks, a few machines, and a couple of cardio machines. For Clement residents, this option is viable since the T-Rex is a 15 to 20 minute walk. The downside to this gym is that it can feel really crowded once there's more than 2 people in there. Personally, I usually lift at the T-Rex because of the variety of equipment, but I found Hyper to be a great backup when I just want a quick, focused session. Now, here's the hardest part, walking in for the first time. The gym community can feel intimidating, especially if you're new. I've been an athlete most of my life, but even with that background, when I started lifting seriously 2 years ago, I was nervous about looking like I didn't know what I was doing. What I've learned, though, is that most people are so focused on their own workouts that they aren't paying attention to what you're doing. Though it can be intimidating at first, asking others in the gym for a spot or advice has helped me learn so much. Even though I've been lifting for 2 years, I still go up to people in the gym just to ask them what their split is, or for advice on a certain exercise. Everyone starts somewhere, and the important thing is just showing up consistently. The best way to beat intimidation is to have a plan. So let's get into the plan I recommend. The split I personally use is a simple push, pull, and legs routine. It's effective because it balances training volume, recovery, and growth. On push day, I focus on chest, triceps, and shoulders. I will usually start out with some sort of flat press, like barbell benching or a seated chest press machine. Then I will move on to an incline movement, like incline Smith machine bench or incline dumbbell bench press. After doing my triceps and shoulders, I'll do my last chest movement, this being some sort of chest fly. For triceps, I like doing easy bar skull crushers, dips, or the dip machine. Lastly, I do dumbbell lateral raises for my shoulders. On pull day, I target the back and biceps. I start with lat pull downs or pull-ups, then I move on to rows for thickness. This can include seated cable rows or some sort of chest supported row. Then I move on to bicep curls. My favorite exercise for biceps is a preacher curl machine, but normally dumbbell bicep curls get the job done. I also like doing some hammer curl variation. Sometimes I'll add in rear delt or cable pullover exercises as a finisher. On leg day, it's all about the lower body. I start with squats or hack squats for quads, move into hamstring work like RDLs or lying leg curls, then finish with calf raises and quad extensions. I tend to have the main squat movement, hack squats or barbell squats, that I switch between every other leg day. Every exercise is done for about 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, which is the sweet spot for building muscle. Research consistently shows that progressive overload, or gradually adding more weight, reps, or sets over time, is the key driver of muscle growth. The National Library of Medicine conducted an experiment on this. Their conclusions stated, our findings indicate that the progression of overload through load or repetitions can be used to promote gains in strength and muscle hypertrophy in young men and women in the early stages of training. Another really important tip is controlling the eccentric, meaning controlling the weight on the way down. Here's a clip of Dr. Mike Israetel, a professor of exercise science and sports science, explaining this.
Control in general, especially on the eccentric. Most people can't help but control the concentric because it pushes back. You can only move a concentric so quickly, especially with heavier weights, especially close to failure. So someone can't really spastically do the concentric. They push against it. It's kind of auto-controlled. If you're trying to gun your car up a really high hill and you have anything other than a Tesla, it's going to be seemingly like you're controlling it, but it's just pushing back. That's auto control. On the eccentric, however, on the way down, people a lot of times are like, blah, they just let it drop, which again isn't terrible. It does marginally increase your chance of injury, but what it does is it takes a very muscle growth promoting part of the movement, which is the eccentric, and the eccentric actually requires less nervous system stimulus to do the same amount of physical work, which means its inherent stimulus to fatigue ratio might be higher.
In other words, don't worry about lifting the heaviest weights right away. Focus on form and let the strength come with time. This push-pull leg split has worked really well for me. When I first started, I wasn't consistent and I struggled with form, but once I committed, I started seeing progress, not just in how I looked, but in my energy, discipline, and confidence. Weightlifting has become more than just exercise for me. It's a way to clear my mind, challenge myself, and track steady improvement. That's why I want to encourage other UTK students to get started, even if the gym feels overwhelming at first. To wrap up, UTK has great gym facilities that are accessible to all students. Weightlifting can feel intimidating at first, but with a plan, like a push-pull leg split, and some consistency, it becomes a lot easier and more rewarding. The gyms here aren't just buildings with equipment. They're places where you can grow stronger physically and mentally. So if you've been waiting to start, this is your sign. Go check out T-Rex or Hyper this week and take the first step on your weightlifting journey.